Fellas, AC here. Welcome to another video. And I'm sorry this video is a little bit late because I wanted to do this video end of last year. But as it happens, when you want to do a lot of videos, you get a lot of work and I just couldn't get it out in time. So, better late than never. So I'm going to call this Top 10 Winter Fragrances Designers for 2019-2020 because at the end of this year, I'll have to do another winter list. So I'm going to call it 2019-2020. Now, idea behind doing this video is very simple. It's to help you people with some ideas on what I think are great designer fragrances for the winter period, especially the kind of winters we get here in the UK. It's mostly damp. It rains a lot, but it's not kind of rain that you would call rain. It just drizzles. Sometimes it snows. This year it's been very mild, but it's very windy and very, very cold. So you need to have fragrances that have some sort of strength to them, some projection and lasting power. And also it helps if the fragrance has got some density, some volume, some layers. So I picked those fragrances based on the kind of seasons we get here, but I think it'll help majority of the people. So let's start. At the start of the list, there are a couple of fragrances which are less talked about. In fact, they don't get any mention at all. And they're very, very nice fragrances, especially for winter months. The first one is by a brand which I am giving a lot of attention nowadays, and I'll do a full review of this one very soon. It is Molinard's Chypre Charnel. Now, before I tell you about the fragrance, just look at the beautiful presentation in the bottle. Just the color is beautiful, and this is the color I think of when I spray this fragrance. It's a Chypre, as the name it suggests, and it's a beautiful, soapy, fruity Chypre. Yeah, so there's orange and peach, and there's a little bit of camphorous sort of waxiness to the fragrance, which makes it amazing. The longer this stays on your skin, the better it smells. It's just outstanding. And for the money you pay, I mean, this is a 75 ml bottle, you pay roughly 35 to 40 pounds, if that. Sometimes you might have to pay a little bit more, but the fragrance you get is nothing less of what you call niche quality. The fragrance develops a lot. It has a lot of personality, many layers. It's a beautiful fragrance and it's quite unisex. So if you're into complex fragrances, and especially if you wait for winter to arrive when you can wear complex fragrances, Chypre Charnel is a fragrance which is a must try. You have to like Chypres and you have to like complex fragrances. This doesn't smell anything like the designers you get nowadays, yeah? So bear that in mind. The other one is again from Molinard, and it's even more complex. It's really a multi-layered scent with a lot of density, a lot of personality, and in fact it smells like one of the Roja enslaved. This fragrance is called Habanita EDP. There are two versions. The EDT came out in the 1920s. This one was reimagined and released in 2012. I unfortunately haven't smelled it to remember enough of the EDT, but I love the EDP. Why? Because it's got two of my very favorite notes. Sandalwood and vetiver, but it's hidden behind layers of fruitiness. There's a lot of orange here, there's mastich, there is ambroxan as well, and there is tonka. It's just an outstanding fragrance for people who like their fragrances to have many layers, many transformation, and you pay even less than you pay for Chypre Charnel. You can get this for about 30 pounds. And what a delightful fragrance this is. But don't go buying this blind, because you have to remember, it smells like a classical French perfume would. So it really is dated, and there's a lot of powderiness in this. So you have to really like powdery fragrances. Otherwise, don't go anywhere near this. This is seriously powdery, but it's beautiful. It's really complex. It's for evening time, I believe. Both these two fragrances, I mean, I can wear this to a daytime occasion. The reason I can wear this to a daytime is there's a lot of brightness in this fragrance. As I said, it's very camphorous in nature, so it's quite bright as well. I think there's an ambery warmth to this fragrance as well. This one I would reserve for evening time or even weekends, daytime when I'm at home. I don't want to wear this to work because I do not know how it would be received, but it's a very fine winter fragrance. Really try it if you like complex fragrances. As I said, this is very close to Roja enslaved. Very, very nice. So those are two. Next one is an out-and-out head turner. You know, winter time is a time when you would want to go out with a girlfriend to theaters, to restaurants, that kind of situation where you want to really snuggle up to somebody, or somebody wants to snuggle up to you. You want to greet them with something really warm, romantic and welcoming. This fragrance is all that, you know. Dojin Cabana, the one, Mysterious Night. If you've been following me for a long time, you know that I'm a massive fan of this fragrance. Reason being, this is basically romance in a bottle. This is so romantic and this is really warm, welcoming. I wouldn't say it's masculine, but it's really romantic. If you see what I mean, a lady could wear this. It's basically a rose-based fragrance with a lot of amber in it and beautiful. The rose is so beautifully sort of orchestrated in between some woodiness and some ambery warmth. I've done a full review. You can check it out. Excuse me. You can check it out. But the fragrance has this beautiful personality where people can really, well, not people, your girlfriend can snuggle up to you and feel really welcome. Yeah, very romantic, very beautifully made fragrance. Dolce & Gabbana, the one, Mysterious Night. Beautiful for a date night, especially when it's cold and it's damp and it's miserable, that sort of thing. Now the next one is Jaka Fall. You can throw any occasion at it. It's a tobacco-based fragrance. You can throw anything at it. It really excels. It smells both classic and modern. It's one of my favorite tobacco fragrances for budget, when you're on a budget. It is Aramis Tobacco Reserve. What a beautiful scent this is, guys. And the tobacco note here reminds me of Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille, no less. Yeah, I mean, Tom Ford Tobacco Vanille is my absolute favorite because it's so beautifully made. This one uses the same tobacco note. Would you believe it? And it costs a fraction of money. And guys, it combines that tobacco note with vanilla, with a little bit of tonka and a lot of sage. So there's a lot of spiciness when the fragrance really starts its journey. But when it dries down, it really drives me insane with happiness. I mean, if there's such a thing. It's beautiful. The tobacco in this fragrance is so satisfying. It makes my day every time I wear this, you know. Tobacco Reserve is a phenomenal scent. Love it. The longevity is amazing, you know. I've done a full review. You can check it out. It's just amazing. This fragrance is Jaka Fall. You can wear this to work. You can wear this to a date. It's got all the characteristics that you would want from a budget designer in cold weather. Just amazing. Next one is phenomenal tobacco scent. Yeah, this is basically evening time, clubbing time fragrance. I have a huge soft spot for this fragrance because its dry down is magical. It is Thierry Mugler's Pure Havane. Guys, this has got, I don't need to talk about this one because it's very widely known. I don't like the opening because it reminds me of a cough syrup because it's got this cherry note. But the dry down has this amazing, beautiful cacao, dry cacao with tobacco. What a fine fragrance this is, guys. You have to really, I have a massive soft spot for this fragrance. I love this fragrance in winter months because I love the note of tobacco. So you have to really try it because it lasts a very long time and it projects a lot. And the best thing is, even Xerjoff copied it. So Naxos by Xerjoff is basically a rip-off of this fragrance. You pay 4 times the money. You can get this for $50, 55 for 100 ml quite easily. And you know, Xerjoff, you pay about 250 for the pleasure. It's probably a bit more polished and stuff like that, but basically it copies this scent. And I love this scent. It's just amazing. I don't like the opening, love the dry down. Can't get enough of it. Now, done 5, next 5. Next 2 are leather fragrances. Leather fragrances are amazing in winter, and I have some really hardcore leather fragrances, but they're not in this collection. But this one will remind you of one of the finest leather fragrances ever made. This is the first time I'm featuring this fragrance in any of my videos, and it is Fendi Uomo. And the leather fragrance here, leather scent here, reminds me of the leather scent that I spent a long time ago with Bellamy. One of the most celebrated, I'm just getting it now, and I'm loving it. I really like that oily, lemony leather smell that you get in Bellamy, real Bellamy. Now this one, what I mean by real Bellamy is vintage Bellamy by Hermes. This one has got that characteristic. It's got a lot of coriander in it, and there's a bit of patchouli in it, a lot of oak moss, and I believe bergamot and lemon, or both. I think both, lemon and bergamot. This fragrance has this leather to die for. This fragrance is not as strong as Bellamy and not as strong as other classical leather. This is very classical scent. If you like classical retro type leather fragrances, but you can't tolerate the amount of sort of sillage the retro ones give you, then you should go for this. This is a mild fragrance. Lasts about 6 hours. And the sillage is probably 1.5 hours. Projection is even less. This is a very quiet scent. But if you're a lover of genuine old-fashioned leather, that oily, birchy leather, you should go for Uomo. You can get it very easily. It's discontinued now. You can get it very easily on eBay. If you ever find it, and if you like leather fragrances, masculine leather fragrances, go for this. It's very muted, so it will really not upset you. It will not give you a headache, but it will give you that beautiful experience of authentic vintage leather fragrance. Yeah, that's what it is. Next one is a very modern leather fragrance. One of the most finest fragrances when it comes to designers. I absolutely love this fragrance. Is Dior Homme Parfum. Now this is hard to get. If you have Dior Homme Intense, go for it, because Dior Homme Intense is beautiful. This one takes it one level up. The leather note here married with a nice sweet oud. I love this fragrance. It's got tremendous personality. It really resonates with me. I want this to work. I want this to date nights. I want this to clubbing. You have to have a certain type of personality to pull this off. I don't mean, when I say to pull this off, I don't mean that this is a challenging scent. What I mean is it will be a waste if you don't have that sort of a frame of mind. It's really an achiever's fragrance. You have to be in that frame of mind to go and get things done, or go and, pull somebody you like. That's very confident, very, very masculine, very confident, and yet very modern. It will be impossible for me to believe that you won't get a compliment if you have this in your collection. It's an absolute guaranteed compliment magnet. Brilliant fragrance. I have huge amounts of respect for this fragrance. I absolutely adore this fragrance. Whenever I wear this, I have to be in the frame of mind that I discussed. So, last three. Next one is again a beautiful iris combination. Iris, but I don't get the lipsticky vibe that people talk about in Dior Homme from Dior Homme Parfum. Now this one is slightly lipsticky, and it's very modern and it's beautifully made. It's very complex as well, but doesn't change a lot. It's Prada L'Homme Intense. Again, I've done a full review. of Dior Homme Parfum. Very different scents. This is one of those fragrances that gets you noticed because this projects a lot. Serious projection. And I've done some mistakes in the past where I sprayed 4 on my shirt, went to work. The moment I removed my coat, everybody just turned, because this is one of those attention grabbing fragrances. So if you're wearing this to work, go with 2 sprays on your shirt, not more than that. It projects a lot, especially in the first few hours. What a beautiful scent, phenomenal. It's iris, it's amber, it's woody, it's powdery. If you don't like powdery scents, don't go anywhere near it. But the performance on this one is absolutely amazing. The scent itself is of a very confident person who takes care of himself, who makes sure that he is adequately dressed for any occasion he wants to go to. That sort of thing. Very confident, very in the place. You'll not be out of place when you wear this to any occasion. Yeah, just make sure you think about the occasion you're wearing this to. If you're going to a wedding or to a date, you might want to spray a little bit more. If you're going to work, just go with 2 sprays on your shirt if you wear it on your shirt. Very, very nice fragrance, guys. I love Prada Longline. It's just my favorite. Next on my list is a phenomenal fragrance. It's an outstanding masculine. It's been there in the scene since 1990. It is Charnel's Egoiste. What a beautiful scent this is. This is my scent of the evening. This is a sandalwood fragrance, and everybody knows, people who follow me, that I love sandalwood note. Here, sandalwood has been married with a beautiful, aromatic, vibrant cinnamon, and coupled with a very, very mild but very mysterious sort of a rose note. This is a versatile fragrance. You can wear this in the summer, in the winter, autumn, spring, to office, to date, anywhere. You will give off the impression of being a confident man, a man who's purposeful, who's got objective in life, who wants to go and pursue his ambitions, come what may. It's a very confident, very you know, it's a complimentary fragrance. If you're really one of those guys who has vision and the mission in mind, Egoiste will really supplement your personality. Yeah, this is not a frivolous scent. This is very classy, elegant person with etiquette, that sort of thing. Egoiste is a very, very fine fragrance. Can't praise it enough. And foolishly, I left it till too long to discover. This is a recent discovery for me. I left it for too long because I assumed I have a fragrance which is kind of better than this. It isn't. It's just a different scent. And now that I have Egoiste, I feel very confident to recommend it to people who are looking for a very versatile and yet bright and confident scent for work or to a date occasion. And it's so nicely made, you know. I have to do a full review soon. Well, last one on the list is another one such fragrance. It's an absolute masterpiece, guys. It's been made to perfection. It's a beautiful winter masculine. It is Prada L'Homme. I can't remember the full name. Prada Amber Intense. Prada Amber for Men Intense. That's the full name. I keep mixing up names. I did that in the last video. So Prada Amber, I've reviewed that one. It's a soapy fragrance. It's very different to what you get here. And this is what I like about this Prada Amber line. Now here, it's soapy, yes, but it's been married with some amazing notes. Patchouli, number one. Myrrh, beautiful earthy myrrh. Saffron, amber. This fragrance is basically niche quality fragrance in a designer bottle. Outstanding fragrance. So suitable for a gentleman who's dressed in formals for work or for date or even to the theaters. You have to be slightly smartly dressed to carry this. What a beautiful scent this is. I'll do a full review soon. Extremely highly recommend you to at least try it, because once you try it, and if you like slightly mature scents, if you like slightly mature scents with a lot of personality and a lot of gravity and high quality, you really should try Prada Amber for Homme Intense. What a odd name. At least I have difficulty. Prada Amber Intense, let's call it that way. So I think I'm done. I hope you like this video. If you do give it a like. Take care. Bye-bye.